For decades, it felt like automobile technology was barely moving, crawling along, if you will, but we have seen in recent years an explosion in new ideas, new thinking, and really new technologies all across the board, and it's frankly getting a little bit exciting. That's what we're going to talk about. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. So I've got Mark here from the Tesla Life, being his usual scary self. How are you, Mark?
Being scary, Brian. That's what I do.
Being scary. Well, as a reminder, at the end of these shows, we address questions from last week's shows. So if you have questions, ask them. We're here for it. Okay, so getting into it, this is neat. Tesla apparently quietly changed the housing surrounding their backup cameras. What was wrong with the old one?
Besides that it looks a little bit washed out in the photo, apparently they had some issues with water, I understand.
They did. The backup camera. Well, really all cameras could use a little better protection from water. But yeah, it's not uncommon to see just water just sitting on the camera. And so they put just this little shroud over it, which prevents drips from coming down over the top. And then at the bottom there, you can see on the 2025 one, what's that doing there?
Yeah, it's got a little bit of a teardrop shape at the bottom, probably to disperse the water as it goes around the outside a little bit better and doesn't flip up on the camera if it's got that little push out at the bottom.
Exactly. I think that's exactly what it is it's a channel to direct the water droplets to a better placement. Fantastic. Now this one is interesting. This next one, the best brakes are, of course, no brakes. Let's move them inboard. Let's put them all the way inside the motor. Now this is, I've got some issues with this concept. You see, I thought, I did a thought experiment a while back where I tried to take the best blank is no blank to the extreme. And what I thought is, well, what else could Tesla get rid of? And I went system by system to come up with ideas. You could get rid of the HVAC just by getting rid of also the windows. Terrible. I don't like that idea. But that's how thought experiments work. And I thought, well, let's get rid of the brakes. I thought, well, if it can get you 0 to 60 in 2 seconds, it can get you from back down to speed reasonably quickly as well. There are reasons why you would still want physical brakes, but you could do it. I wouldn't want to do it on.
I'd argue that the regen braking that we have all seen in EVs has been a dramatic change in braking technology just with that. So many of us now really don't use the physical pads in any way, shape, or form. In fact, maintenance has to be performed in order to keep the physical pads in operation because they're used so infrequently.
It depends on your driving style. If you are someone who does not rely on physical brakes as much, uses regen, it's kind of fun to see how long you can go in between touching the brakes. Then what you can do in lieu of visiting a shop is just stomp on the brakes once in a while. I mean, literally that's all it takes. So that's, but you shouldn't need to, because I don't know if you know this. I asked on X the other day, because I tried looking it up. I couldn't find an article. I was wondering if I'd lost my mind. And helpfully, Joe from the Tesla owners of San Joaquin Valley found it for me. It's in the manual. Your car will already flutter the brakes periodically to keep them from accumulating rust. Fantastic.
Hasn't helped me. Mine's still rust.
They also salt your roads, don't they?
They do.
I do not have lightly salted roads. Mine are unsalted, which is, better for you.
Always a plus for the brakes.
So on this one, they're saying, now here's my problem though. If you've got your brake pads inside the motor, how do you change the pads?
Oh, yeah, that would be expensive.
Well, the answer is you don't. It lasts for the life of the vehicle. They don't specify what the lifetime of the vehicle is, but there's no traditional caliper either. Scrubbing speed is achieved by pushing the brake pad onto the stationary disc, Mercedes said this shouldn't require service for the lifetime of the vehicle, but hastily added that we think the lifetime's about 6 months. No, I didn't say that. But you have to wonder, where does the brake dust go?
It would collect inside the bottom of the motor.
It does collect inside the bottom of the housing. It's the housing. I don't think that's a good place for dust.
No.
I think we should see if we can prevent that. So my real concern with this, though, is the amount of, when you use regenerative braking, you're converting kinetic energy back into electricity, back into basically a chemical energy. When you use manual physical brakes like these, you're converting kinetic energy into heat. The amount of braking you can achieve is limited by the amount of heat you can disperse. This is much smaller than 4 sets of brakes all around the car. I am concerned that this would not have enough ability to dissipate heat quickly enough to stop you in the event of a severe braking incident.
But just like anything, you have to put this model to the test, physically use it in the real world to see what works and what doesn't work.
Pass. I'll let
I
someone
didn't mean
else
you
do
have to
that.
test it, Brian. I
No,
mean the
I'll let
manufacturer has to test it.
Nah, I'm good. I already did the CVT experiment with Nissan, and that was stressful enough. Forever, I was like, oh, I took it in when it was still under warranty, and they're like, yeah, no, that's within spec. I'm like, really? It feels like the transmission's about to fail. It never did fail. I drove it another 50, 60,000 miles, but I was like, oh, one of these days I'm going to have to replace this inherently flawed transmission. It was not great. Now, I don't know if you caught this little story, but there's some genius stuff going on here. Stellantis launches the new STLA frame. By the way, don't you like how their stock ticker is so close to Tesla's stock ticker?
It's just jumbled.
Yeah, how do you even pronounce that? Is it a word?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. So anyway, I think what it would be. So they've got this new frame. It's a one size fits all, fix everything, all in one. This is such an innovation, Mark. I hope you're ready, because this is exciting. This is what they're going to use for internal combustion and electric cars and hydrogen cars and hybrid cars.
Oh my gosh.
And range extender EVs. It's the 5-in-1.
Yeah, just shoot yourself now. This is not going to work.
It can do anything, just nothing well.
It does them all poorly, evenly poorly.
Well, I assume some of them will be more terrible than others. And I love that when they show the frame there, it doesn't really have shocks at all. So
Yeah.
I think the best shocks are no shocks.
There you go.
We'll just put in softer seats. No one will notice except the little hula girl on the dash.
That's right. Just reduce the tire pressure a bit. It'll all even out.
By the way, it is winter. If your tires, check your tire pressure, folks. If you don't have tire pressure monitoring, check your tires. If the weather has gotten colder, you may not have enough pressure in your tires, which will increase wear on the tires, reduce your range or your gas mileage, all of that. You know, Stellantis has the answer to range anxiety, and it's not solid state batteries. Mark, what nonsense do you think we're about to see?
I really hope it's not hydrogen.
It's not. It's not. You are in luck. It is better than that, but not much. It's a gas motor that they will add to your EV. Now, I'm not going to lump this one in under innovations because bad.
How 10 years ago, Stellantis? Very good.
On the plus side, it's happening. Chrysler confirms a Pacifica EV. Sort of.
Oh, they already have a Pacifica EV, sort of. They have a hybrid Pacifica. So are they saying it's going to be a complete EV or not quite?
So they are saying it's going to be a complete EV. They're just kind of saying it. It was in an interview. That's what Chrysler CEO Christine Feuell, oh, for crying out loud, this has to be a simulation we're living in, told Green Car Reports at the LA Auto Show. Basically, there was an interview and they said, hey, are you going to make an electric Pacifica? And they're like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll do
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah. And then they showed off the Chrysler Airflow concept. Oh, good. Another exactly one of these, another Chevy Blazer, another Honda Prologue, another Mach-E, another Buzz Forks or Solterra. Good. That's what we need is 5,000 of these. And thank goodness you put it in rental fleet white so we would know where to look for them from the Hertz counter. Ridiculous.
Oh my goodness.
Hey,
That is auto shows though with the big three, is it not?
it
Let's
really
throw up
is.
a concept that has no hope of actually going to production and let's ooh and awe about it and talk about all these specs that mean nothing because it's never going to be made.
I hope the Pacifica EV will. I'm just concerned that it would be 20,000 too expensive and have a range well short of 300 miles, which I think would not work. Tesla appears to be building a teleoperations team for its robotaxi service. Now, I know you talked about that on your show yesterday because I was there.
Yeah, you were.
What do you got for me? Tell me what's going on here.
Well, Tesla's put out the call through their website. They're looking for some employees, and this particular call out is for teleoperation people. So somebody that's going to help them monitor either cybercabs or Optimus robots.
How crazy is
You'll
that?
you'll remember at the 1010 event at Warner Brothers Studio, they marched out a bunch of robots, Tesla bots, that people were able to interact with, and we quickly understood that there were actually people behind those robots in a number of ways that were interacting with the crowd. They were looking through the robot's eyes and they were talking to people. They were moving the arms and hands. They were gesturing. They were playing rock paper, scissors. They were doing all this. So Tesla is hiring more people to do that type of teleoperation. And of course, it could be for the robot, it could be for the car, it could be for a combination. They're not really saying what it is. It's just something that they're hiring people to begin with.
It's very exciting. I think it'll the robots for sure. That'll be something that needs to get dialed in. We do not have the sort of overwhelming wealth of training data that we have available for cars. And remember, 5,000 more cars go out the door every day, 5,000 plus, and all of those are gathering data too. And
Yeah.
even if the take rate on FSD is only 10%, you're talking about another 500 cars a day added to the full FSD fleet. And for all new cars, you get 3 months if you use my referral ID, which you should. Interestingly, I saw this story. The team was asked to write AI to play poker. The challenge was like, you've got 1 hour to write it or whatever, something like that. And this guy said, okay, I got it. And he won the tournament because he said, when bet, go all in. So every hand, his AI would say, all in. I'm all in. And every time the AI would fold. Well, all in, I'm out. And so, yeah, he defeated an army of AI with the dumbest hack ever.
Yeah, exactly.
So now we've got this unfortunate story. This isn't really Aztec, but then again, the Mayans are the ones who predicted the end of the world. Aztec, former Neo adventure Hycan in death throes with few remaining employees and increasing debts. Now, this isn't Neo itself. This was a joint venture that they had done. Neo only owned, I think, maybe 10 or 20% of it. Not that much. And here's their booth at the expo on October 31st. That is an empty booth. That is not
Nothing to show.
Nothing to show. Now, that might be a car on the far right of the screen over here, but that is not the demonstration you want to have. There is going to be a lot of consolidation. See, these cars look fine, but I mean, you kind of, the seafoam one looks a bit like a not as attractive Xiaomi Su 7, or kind of like a BYD Atto, maybe. But, and this minivan, I mean, you did what you could, but unfortunate. We're going to see a lot more consolidation.
There is a ton of Chinese cars out there that are different manufacturers connected with other manufacturers. Like you said, there's an amalgamation that's going to have to happen because there's just way too many brands for them all to succeed.
Too many. There are still, as far as I understand, last I heard, in excess of 100 EV brands in China. That number is, of course, unsustainable. So now we're going to, guys, we survived long enough. We're getting into the Q&A. And by the way, happy Thanksgiving. It is Thanksgiving for my American viewers, and happy Thursday for everyone else. I'll tell you, it's going to be turkey. It's going to be a lot of turkeys, what it is, because at the grocery store we go to, they said they had hey, spend $100, get a free turkey. There's 6 people in my house. Do you know how often I spend $100? Well, the window was only 3 days long, so we got 1 turkey. And then today I was at a different store, and their deal was spend $35 and you can buy a giant turkey for $4. Like, well, now I've got another. It's going to be a lot of bird. But we're into the Q&A. We're into the Q&A. And I know you give me a hard time because you think I choose unfair times to pause the video. I think I did well this time. I look terrible, and you are...
I am leaving the screen.
You are leaving the screen. This is when we're talking about Vis Dick. So let's have a look here at the questions. Told my buddy I was going to buy a Model 3 at the end of November. He said I should wait because there's new battery tech that will allow it to charge in about 8 minutes. How long do we think it'll take for that car to come out? Because I'm going to need a car within the next 6 months.
Buy it now, because nothing's coming out in the next 6 months that's going to charge in 8 minutes.
No, that is correct. That is not a technology I am aware of, which is what I explained in the comment. You hear all kinds of miracle battery claims all the time, every day.
Yep.
You just gotta wait. You just gotta buy what's out. It's like in the 90s, I would have friends say, should I buy a computer now or wait? I say, if you need a computer, buy a computer, because in 3 months, they'll have all new stuff. You can't.
Yeah, you can't do that. That's something that you've got to understand, that something will be replaced by something always. But you know what? You have a need, and you've got to fill that need within the time that makes sense for you.
Yes. EV9, I had said it was out. It is not out. There were some models available for media to review. But second and third row is 2 seats each, like the Model X, although maybe bigger seats in the Kia. Yeah. So apologies on that. Thank you for the correction. Ooh, the Max. Ooh. Okay. I wonder when OptimusBot will provide roadside assistance.
Oh, that's an interesting thought, isn't it?
Yeah.
To call Tesla for service, and OptimusBot comes out to save the day.
So I will say it's going to be a long time, because you need an amount of strength that I don't believe the initial round of bots will have if you're trying to change a tire, because I guess it could have tools, but it's a very manual sort of thing. I'd say not in the immediate or foreseeable future, but down the road. It's a wonderful idea, though.
And of course, that OptimusBot's name will be Jack.
Oh my gosh, it will. It will. Wonderful. Question: will the Tesla AI car with 4 front wheels have electric steering? Remember I showed the AI generated nightmares?
Yes,
vehicles?
indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Guys, you'll have to go back and watch it. I have left a link in the description. Yes. All right. Will it have electric steering? I put something snarky in here. So much steering you wouldn't believe. Too much, some say. Oh, I'm my own best audience. Okay. Hey guys, any chance future FSD might take action based on verbal instructions? What about when the unruly and out of control kids in the backseat try to confuse and mess with the Tesla FSD unsupervised? I hope the parents aren't snoozing during shenanigans.
I can't see that it would take verbal commands because, of course, the verbal command takes more for you to realize what's happening in front of you, change it to verbalization, and ask the car to do something. I just can't see that being any faster than even manually taking over from the car, or putting your hands up over your eyes because you're going to smash. Like, I just can't see the verbalization being quick enough to matter.
I don't think they meant for that. I assumed it was for navigation. You know what? Hey Grok, take me to place for coffee. I don't know. And maybe that could happen. But my response was, I think you'd still have to push the button, because there was a time early in the smart speaker days when advertisers tried to say, hey Grok. I'm not going to pick one of the names because somebody at home will be watching this and be like, Brian, you're messing with my speaker. Hey Grok, order me 10 of these on Amazon. And orders just started showing up because they weren't in the room when their radio told their speaker to buy something. It's a great, great plan. Very deeply unethical. But, marketing. Let's see. We got this one here. Canoe makes a van, but who wants to buy a vehicle from a company that might go bankrupt within a year or two?
Always concerned with a brand new company at low volume. You don't really know if they're going to make it or not. And Canoe is certainly one of those brands. They have an innovative looking vehicle. It looks excellent. It's fun to drive. We've seen people with press vehicles, but are they going to be around in 2 years? I don't have an answer to that.
And I don't think they're selling them to the public. I think they've sold a couple to United Launch Alliance for use for bringing astronauts to the launch pad. And
They've
I
sold
think
some to Walmart.
but are they, yeah, they might just be trial vehicles though.
They could be.
Yeah. And the last one we'll take is first generative AI images terrible. Really? Door handles? Yeah, AI can do that from time to time. Hey guys, head over to the Tesla Life show, see what they're up to. I was a guest this week. We had some fun. My Wednesdays are very long, but I didn't mind making it a little bit longer because it's just great to hang out with the crew. Everybody
Absolutely.
else, like, subscribe, do what you got to do, and stay tuned, stay juicy. I cannot wait to hear. Oh, you know what? I think it's time. I should probably address my Christmas lights. It's
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. Should I turn
Yeah.
them on?
You should.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Here we go.
Of course, it's out of frame. So let's do that.
I was going to say they didn't turn on, Brian, but it was just out of frame. Okay, no problem.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't help. That's,
There we go.
ladies and gentlemen,
already feeling more Christmassy right now.
'tis the season. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll be back shortly with another exciting one. And everybody else, you know what you're doing. See ya.
Put the questions in there.
Oh, yeah. Put the questions in there. And now we'll see ya.